Patrick, I want to thank you very, very much for taking part in this interview about a very important, unique piece of research called Amplifying Voices. And the research is essentially about trying to get the voices of businesses on how they feel about the increasing diversity that is becoming more and more of an issue here within the Maritimes. And when I say an issue, I'm talking about we are more aware of the importance of diversity now than we've ever been. And the question is, how do businesses acquire the level of understanding, the level of awareness, and also how that level of awareness is reflected in the way they manage their businesses, how they recruit employees, how they support those employees after recruitment, and how they try and generate a sense of belonging amongst their staff, who are all very different from each other, so that they're working towards the one goal in spite of their differences. And in fact, they're using their differences as a vehicle to inspire the achievement of the goals in terms of the different perspectives that diversity brings, the importance of different points of view being heard at the top tables, such as the board of directors and so forth. So we're very interested in short in how businesses are adapting to this increasing level of diversity, not only within the wider communities, but also within their workforce.
And I thank you for that, David. And I think we're very interested as well, which is why we're very engaged in this effort. At the Chamber, we are committed to diversity, but I think we've said that for too long a time, as have many businesses. It's now time to be proactive. It's now time to show people how committed we are. And I think our engagement, and obviously our members' engagement in this initiative, will help to provide great information for those members and for the entire community. So we're excited with this.
Patrick, as a partner in this research, a very important partner, how would you encourage businesses to participate in the research? What's in it for them?
Well, I think as you mentioned earlier, David, it's very important that we understand how we can advance diversity in Nova Scotia and in Halifax. But I think the biggest opportunity for businesses is to share in some of the knowledge that they'll get from other businesses, from the community, and by gaining that knowledge, we'll be able to all be more engaged workforces that embrace diversity, and likely create that more inclusive workforce, which we all know will make for a better place for people to work.
Absolutely, and also contribute to the bottom line of
Well,
businesses.
I think it's interesting you bring that up. There was a Deloitte study a number of years ago that says a more diverse workplace is a more profitable workplace, and whether it's more profitable for a business that's involved in profit, or if it's a not-for-profit, where it may be perhaps just improving their bottom line to spend more on their clients, whatever it is, and we have lots of members at the Chamber, improving diversity will improve the organization and create a better outcome, which is where we all want to go.
Of sharing between businesses what they're actually doing in terms of creating new structures, new policies, procedures, which will further the diversity, make it actually work. Because it's one thing having the different faces of individuals within the organization. It's another thing trying to get a coherent workforce that singularly feels they all belong to the business, and that the business managers and owners are heeding that need to make all the individuals in the business have this sense of belonging.
Well, and I think you're right. I mean, creating a bit of a competitive advantage for an individual business is important, but creating that community, if you will, competitive advantage, I think will make Nova Scotia and Halifax a better place to work, a more attractive place to set up a business, a place that's growing more quickly. All of those reasons, I think, would encourage businesses to participate and engage in this action, for sure.
And that is very, very important, because part of the aims of the research is to collect information from businesses about what they're doing in terms of addressing issues of diversity, and also collect information about what they're actually doing to make it a reality, and also identify some of the things they've tried to do which have worked and some of the things which have not, and to share between the businesses such knowledge so that we're all in a position where we don't need to reinvent the wheel, but we can learn from each other as to what has worked and what has not, and benefit from it.
Well, and I think you're absolutely right. I mean, the Chamber is a good example. We've wanted to do the right thing. We've tried to engage in diversity, but I know there are other organizations that are doing it better, and I'd love to learn from them so that we can do better. And then once we do better, hopefully, again, there's another organization that can learn from us. So, I mean, it's a bit of a information gathering mentorship program that's going to enable us all to do better as we move forward.
Absolutely. And just on that, there is the view held by some businesses that perhaps they don't want to disclose a level of non-awareness that they feel embarrassed about, or they feel that they're not actually doing anything that the researchers may be interested in hearing about in terms of active involvement in trying to address levels of diversity. But what we are trying to do in terms of this research is not to get involved in naming and shaming, but to encourage businesses to trust us and to focus on areas which they are concerned about, anxious about, knowing more about, so that we can provide at the end of the research the necessary guidance and training along with other subject matter experts to help those businesses develop in the way that they wish to. I do believe there is a collective wisdom within the business communities that we need to hear about and learn from, because some of it will result in major positive change, and other elements of it can be addressed through this additional guidance that will be provided.
Yeah, and I think that's a great point. Is, you know, it's not only organizations that are doing this well already, it's organizations who have yet to do something, and even engaging with us and saying, you know, I don't know yet what to do, will be informative, will help us learn what they need to know to enable them to take the next step.
Patrick, we talked earlier about the collective wisdom of businesses that we're trying to glean important information from in terms of this research. But one of the elements that businesses sometimes forget is that they are the experts on their own businesses, and each business is different from the next. So therefore, one of the areas of enormous importance to this research is what works and doesn't work in your particular organization. We know it's different to the business next door, but what you are undertaking and what you think your members are going to be interested in in terms of addressing these issues may be qualitatively different from the workforce of the business next door. So this importance of addressing what is important to your business is very, very important. So it's very personal to each individual business. And is there anything you'd like to say about the personal take on an individual business, sharing how it operates and how it feels it can address diversity in a particular way, and that may be qualitatively different to the business next?
Well, I think it's a few things. Certainly, every business is different. Every organization is different. Every business has a different culture. I think what I would say, though, is all the conversations we've had so far are about creating a safe space.
Yes.
For people to engage, a safe space for them to have those conversations. And I think they will get the learning they need for their individual business. Again, if it's safe, someone else might get that different experience. But I think the opportunity for conversation will be broad and safe for everyone as we go along.
Excellent. I totally agree.
I think one more thing I'd like to say is that we're very pleased to be working with you and with Amplifying and with the folks from my East Coast experience. And I think this is going to be a great opportunity for us to learn at the Chamber, for our members to learn, and I think for greater education among the community. And I'm really looking forward to the output of this information.
Thank you very much, Patrick.
Thank you.
And from my part, I would like to say it is an honor to be undertaking this research. So thank you for being a wonderful partner.